Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to Inter Worldwide. My name is Anthony. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to do a video for such lovely people. I had a lot of time to think today. I got that little short out pretty much right at the full-time whistle. So I had a lot of time to think throughout work today, and I had so many thoughts, and I thought the best thing you can do is put that little piece of content out this afternoon. And very raw, but I feel like the no men left behind, nothing left behind part of the season starts now. That was the last game where Simone Inzaghi is going to be able to rotate players, rest players, tactically not use players. From now on in, it's full strength 11 every game, pedal to the metal. We need to win every game from now until the end of the season. We can't lose a single game. And I'm so nervous now. I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. This Inter has done very well this season. They have performed so well under a lot of pressure, under a lot of expectations, with not much money spent once again. What Marotta and co do in the background is unrivaled compared to other European clubs that have had money to spend, especially when you're in a position like Inter's, who is now back on the map on a European front, who are the reigning champions of Italy, who have collected 2 league titles in the last 4 seasons, multiple cups as well. We haven't brought in marquee signings for a while. We haven't added superstars to our locker room for a while. Benji Pavard is the last one. And prior to that, you have to look back to the Antonio Conte era of signings. There's so much that can still go wrong this season. Forgive me if I'm sweaty. It's actually like proper hot in Southwest Sydney at the moment. Every day something new out here weather-wise. It's so much can still go wrong, but so much can go, right. Can be successful. I made a mistake in the short today that I put out. There is going to be extra time if we tie the game in the next leg, which sucks. I really did not want extra time, but so be it. I hope it doesn't end in a tie. We can't afford 30 more minutes. Bologna beat Empoli 3-0. They will be in the Coppa Italia final. So there's no guarantee that you get to the final and win the Coppa Italia either this season. Bologna are a great side, and them in a cup final with everything to play for, my God, they will leave their skin on that pitch. They will leave their DNA on that pitch. That is a Champions League final to them like never before. And what a way for them to cap off this new era of Champions League qualification, competitiveness in Serie A, fighting for a top 4 spot with a Coppa Italia. Mark my words, I said this on the stream, I think. If Milan go through, Bologna's definitely winning that Coppa Italia final. Like, I would stake half my property on it. Milan's not beating Bologna in the final of that Coppa Italia. They will lose that final. They will lose good. What is it about Milan that just has our number this season? It has to be a mental thing. Hakan, the fact that he scored the goal was awesome today. I think that made us all feel even a little bit better as the goal went in. When Hakan banged it in, we're like, fuck yeah. Again, in your mouth. You can tell that the nerves are creeping in. And you can tell that this Inter team, it's about to play with its best 11 in every game now for the rest of the season. It's Parma, it's Bayern, it's Cagliari, it's Bayern. I think that's the order. Parma, Bayern, Cagliari, Bayern. Win, draw, win, win. If we can pull that off, 3 wins out of the 4, it would look galactic. I wanted to talk a little bit about, trust me, I don't mean to be negative here. And thank you to those who have dropped in to tune into this video, this very raw video. Going out against Bayern Munich is not the end of the world. It would be very disappointing. But I would see the advantage of going out prior to getting knocked out than getting knocked out in the semi-finals. And not to say that we would get knocked out in the semi-finals. In fact, if we do go through against Bayern Munich, I will be half convinced that we are winning the Champions League. We will want it more than any of the teams that are left. Give us anybody, and we will beat them. But getting through Bayern Munich is going to be the toughest European test that we've had in a long, long time. And this isn't the Bayern Munich of 2012 or 2014 or 2017-18. And it's not the Bayern Munich that we beat in 2010. It's not as good. Nowhere near it. But it's Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Bayern Munich at their home ground. Bayern Munich with Harry Kane and a retiring Thomas Muller, who would love nothing more than to go out on top. He is a German professional. He ain't throwing his career away. He stretched that one out nice and high, didn't he? Same like Toni Kroos. The work ethic on these Germans is always next level. To me, the Scudetto is still the most important thing. I dare say sometimes I ask myself, do you really love the Scudetto that much that you choose it over a Champions League? And I think it's something you can only understand if you are, and I don't even mean this in a negative way, Italian or of Italian descent, or if you live over there, if you have a family history or just a history of speaking about football with your family or being culturally tied to it in any way. But to me, the answer still this year would be the Champions League for sure, because that's the trajectory of where our club has gone since we qualified back into it under Spalletti. For some clubs, winning the Champions League can feel automated sometimes. I mean, not unless you're Real Madrid, but you know, if you're Liverpool, it never surprises you to be in a Champions League final, does it? If you're a Manchester City fan of the last 4 to 5 years, it doesn't surprise you to be in a Champions League final in the last 4, 5, 6 years. However, they've been more on their dominant side of things. But as Inter fans, we know when our time comes, we can feel it. We can feel it. It's more than just oh shit, we're going to make the Champions League final this year. Huh? No. You can feel it when something builds in this club. You always can. You always can. Remember when we made our last Champions League final? I knew we were getting there as soon as we beat Porto, because I'd mapped out the possible opponents afterwards and no one was going to beat us going to that final. We had an easy draw. I'm glad we're going through a semi-difficult draw and run this time through. Parma, Cagliari, and then we'll look at the other Serie A fixtures after that. Napoli is so hot on our heels. And I don't think they're going to drop that many points from now to the end of the season. Now that they've picked up a win against Milan that gives them momentum, they are going to be playing a Bologna side that is exhausted. This Bologna team has got such a hard run before the end of the season now. It will be so interesting to see how they finish it off. Anyway, there was really no point to this video. There was really no context to this video. I just thought, I feel like since we came back from international break, this was more like a competitive friendly to get through, and the fact that it ended a draw today means that now there's just all to play for in the next leg with no away goals rule. So to be honest with you, now we start to think about the rest of the season from today. After this draw, every game counts. There are no second chances. Every game counts. Full foot forward, full 11 forward. Everybody who is fit enough and who is better enough to play will play. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. My name is Anthony. Get out of here. Ciao.